adventure is right for you? Should you take a cruise or a road trip? What would you prefer and why? Let's have a look at some of the options. We're going to go through a few options, and then at the end, we will talk about the pros and cons of each. Let's just have a look at convenience and ease of travel. To do a cruise, how easy is it? Well, there's no driving, there's no navigating. You can just relax and enjoy. So it's pretty easy to do a cruise. You unpack once and you're done. You know what I mean? You don't have to pack every day and on the road again and stuff like that, right? And then everything is included. Your meals, your entertainment, and you can even buy options so your drinks are included too. And some of your entertainment, like some of your off-boat entertainment. So some of the outages that you would do at the ports. A couple of websites that you'd want to check out. It's called Cruise Critic. So it's senior travel and it's reviews. So you get reviews there, okay? And comparison. So comparison of different cruises, all right? And then Vacations to Go for 55 plus cruises. And this is senior cruise discounts. And then we have AARP Travel Center, which is you get members discounts on cruises and travel insurance. The best cruise lines for seniors, we have Viking Cruise. So there's no kids, all-inclusive cultural experiences. And we have Holland American Lines, and that is a slower pace, enrichment programs, and accessibility friendly, okay? Princess Cruise, relaxed atmosphere, good food, and scenic routes. And then we have Celebrity Cruise. So this is luxury without it being overwhelming. Royal Caribbean is another one. And this is more of an active one. So if you are more active, lots of entertainment and adventure options, okay? And then there's also Carnival Cruises that offer senior cruises, okay? So you can check those out. The best senior-friendly destinations by cruise. We have the Caribbean. It's relaxed island hopping, warm weather, and beach excursions, all right? And then we have Alaska. So an Alaskan cruise, stunning glaciers, wildlife, and scenic cruising, all right? Mediterranean, history, culture, gourmet foods in Italy, Greece, and Spain. The Panama Canal, unique experience, tropical beauty and rich history. And then we have river cruises, Europe, Mississippi River, slower pace, smaller ships, and more immersible, all right? So road trips, how easy is a road trip? Absolute freedom. You go and you come as you like. You leave when you want, you stop when you want, you can see whatever you want, you eat when you want, all that stuff. So it's absolute freedom. There's no baggage restrictions, so you can buy as much as your car will fit, or whatever you're traveling in will fit. And then more control. So you definitely control everything because you're calling the shots. You're making the decisions. So websites that are good for planning the best road trips. One is called Road Trippers, and they plan routes and find attractions, okay? Then there's AAA Road Trips, senior-friendly trip planning and roadside assistance. There's CAA in Canada that will do trip planning as well. There's RV Share, that's rent an RV for a more comfortable experience, okay? So you can do that. And then there's National Park Service. So info on parks, passes, and accessibility there as well. Okay. Best road trip destinations for retirees. So a few that I have is Route 66. So that would be Chicago to LA. So it's a classic American trip. There's diners, roadside attractions. It's just classic. Blue Ridge Parkway, Virginia to North Carolina, gorgeous mountains and scenic overlooks. Pacific Coast Highway, California, coastal beauty, redwood forests, and ocean views. And then we have the Great River Road, Mississippi River. Charming towns, history, and river views. Then we have New England Fall Foliage Drive. So it's best in September, October for stunning autumn scenery, okay? Beautiful colors. Let's look at cost comparison. This is just in 2025, and they're rough ideas. You have to really do your research, okay? But at the time that I researched this for this video, this is what the cost comparisons gave me. Cruise travel costs, and the average cost $1,200 to $3,500 per person for a 7-day cruise. What's included? Accommodations, meals, onboard entertainment, and some excursions. Additional costs would be gratuities, and that's usually $14 to $18 a day. Alcohol and specialty dining, internet access, and sometimes that can be pricey. Excursions, they can range from $50 to $500 per port, so you really have to be careful there. And travel insurance, which is highly recommended, especially for medical coverage. Ways to save on cruises: book early or last minute deals, okay? Use senior discounts. Consider shoulder seasons. So they mean mid-season, so not high season, you know, in the summer. So usually spring and fall, you'll get a little bit cheaper rates. And then look for all-inclusive cruise options to avoid any hidden fees. Road trip costs at the time that I researched this, the gas would depend on what you're driving and the fuel efficiency that you're getting from that automobile or whatever it is, RV or whatever, right? Your hotels, you can generally count on $100 to $200 per night, unless, of course, you have an RV or you're staying very, very budget. There are discounts that you can get at different places, so you want to make sure you're using those. Your meals, $30 to $60 per day, unless you go to a grocery store and you're making your own meals kind of thing, right? Attractions and activities, they vary. From national parks, some of them are free, some of them charge, so you have to be careful there too. And unexpected expenses on a road trip could include roadside repairs, tolls, and parking fees. Ways to save on road trips. So use gas apps, stay in budget motels, or use an Airbnb with a kitchen, and that'll save you huge on meals. Use senior discounts and get an American The Beautiful Pass. At this time, it was $20 a year for seniors, and it covers all national parks. Now, in Canada, we have one, it's $64 a year, and that Discovery Pass covers 80 plus parks and attractions. You can look up that. Also, if you are a CARP member in Canada, there is a 50% discount that you can get at some attractions as well. You can also purchase in Canada a group pass up to 7 people. So if you had 4 people in a car, you don't all have to purchase the $64.50. You can get a group pass for $151, and that does up to 7 people per carload, up to 80 plus parks and attractions. You get discounts and you get free entry, okay, for some of them. You have to check them all out. Your overall experience, what should you choose? Let's have a look here. So we have a cruise. It might be best if you want to just relax, have a stress-free vacation. Enjoy socializing, entertainment, and gourmet dining. Prefer not to deal with planning or logistics, okay? And love waking up in a new place without the hassle of getting there. So you don't have to drive anywhere. You're just automatically there. And a road trip might be for you If you love freedom and flexibility, enjoy scenic drives, small towns, and hidden gems, you don't mind doing planning for the best experience, and you want to spend time in one location rather than just passing through. We're going to go through a pros and cons list now, but if you've enjoyed this video so far, please subscribe for more videos to come. If you're going on a cruise and if you're going Caribbean, you want to make sure that you avoid the hurricane seasons. That can be June to November, so you want to really be careful of where you're going and how that could look. The best time for road trips is spring and fall for the best temperature. Unless you're going north, and then you'd want to go in the summer. And then your packing essentials. Cruises, there's motion sickness meds, comfy shoes for excursions, and you want to have dressy outfits for dining. For road trips, you need emergency kit, maps, a pillow, and healthy snacks. That's just a few things. I will do some packing videos as well. But that's just a couple of things that you want to make sure that you take. We're going to look at a comparison chart here that I did on the pros and cons. So we have convenience. The Cruise Pro is no driving or navigation needed. You just relax. The con, it's less flexible. You have to stick to the cruise's schedule. The Road Trip Pro, total freedom. Go where you want, when you want. And the con for the road trip, you do all the driving or have to share driving duties, or you have to be sitting for a long time. Luggage and packing. Pros for cruises, you unpack once, you get multiple visits, right? And the con for packing for a cruise is there's luggage restrictions. Road trips, no luggage restrictions. Pack as much as your car or RV can hold. And then the con for packing is you're constantly packing and unpacking at different spots. Cost and budget pros and cons. So the Cruise Pro can be budget friendly with all-inclusive packages. The cons for cruises is there's extras. So you have to be careful of the extras costs, okay? So whether it's drinks, whether it's internet, you have to be really careful. Your excursions, everything's on top. The road trip pros, there's more control over your spending. Like you pick a luxury hotel versus a budget hotel, stuff like that, right? And then your cons is that gas prices fluctuate, so you're never sure how much you're gonna pay, and breakdowns can be very expensive. Then we have destinations. The Cruise Pro is visit multiple countries, cities in one trip, which is awesome. The con is limited time at ports, usually 6 to 10 hours. And road trips, the pros, explore hidden gems, national parks, and small towns. The cons is it's limited to places that are accessible by road. Okay, we get on to food and drinks. So what are the pros and cons with food and drinks? So on a cruise, the pro would be unlimited food. Buffets, gourmet restaurants, room service. The cons on a cruise is limited choice outside of what's available on the trip. The road trip, choose your own restaurant and try local cuisine. The cons for a road trip, you have to find and pay for meals at every stop. Like I said, unless you stop at a grocery store every so often and you have like a cooler and you have snacks and lunches and that kind of stuff that you have with you at all times. We have entertainment. So the pros and cons on a cruise. Daily shows, live music. There's pools, casino, dance classes, all kinds of entertainment. The cons, some activities cost extra and shows can get repetitive. The road trip, the pros, is museums, hiking, amusement park, concerts. You get to decide what you do where. And then the cons, You have to plan entertainment, which can take time and effort. We have social experience. So the pros of social experience on a cruise is you meet fellow travelers, enjoy group activities like yourself, right? The cons on a cruise is the crowds, long buffet lines, and noisy ship environments. Pros about a road trip for social experience, it's very, very personal, one-on-one experiences with locals. And the cons on a road trip would be road tripping alone can get lonely if you prefer socializing. Physical activity. Walking on a cruise, walking tours, onboard fitness centers, and pools. The cons on a cruise would be less active than a road trip, more sitting and eating. Depending, right, on how you're doing your trips. Road trip, the pro is more outdoor adventure, hiking, biking, exploring, and the cons about a road trip, long hours of sitting while driving can be tiring. Accommodations. The pros of a cruise would be the room always travels with you. No need to find hotels. And then the cons on a cruise about accommodations, the cabins can be small and lack privacy. So road trip, the pros, you can choose your hotel, Airbnb, wherever you're staying, you just choose it, right? Like I said, luxury or budget, up to you. And then the cons for accommodations on a road trip, hotels can be pricey and require advanced booking in busy seasons. So if you're going during a busy season, you have to make sure that you plan really well and you book everything. So the next one is accessibility. On a cruise, accessibility, great for seniors and those with mobility issues, for a lot of senior cruises, okay? And the cons is that some excursions involve a lot of walking, so you want to be careful there. Don't book the excursions with a lot of walkings if you have mobility issues. You've got to make sure you ask questions. Road trips, the pros, you can plan rest stops and travel at your leisure. And then the cons of the road trip, not all destinations are senior friendly or have accessibility options. So you may have these little places that are not senior friendly or not accessible. You have to, again, research well. Another thing is spontaneity. So how does spontaneity fit in with a cruise? So no need to worry about planning every detail. Okay, so that's a big pro. You don't have to worry about that. You can just come and go as you want, be as spontaneous as you want. The cons, you do have to stick to the ship's itinerary. So if you want to do something, you have to do it when they're doing it. I mean, you can be spontaneous by doing different things, but you still have to do it around their timetable. So a pro with the road trip, total flexibility, change your plans on a whim. So instead of going to point B, you decide to go to point D and you just do it, right? And the con is definitely more planning. And if you change your route, you need to change your hotels and it can get a little complicated. The next one is safety and security. On a cruise, onboard security, medical facility, and staff assistance. So you have all that available, okay? The cons would be the risk of illness outbreaks, like COVID happened, right? And that was really scary. So people now may think twice about a cruise just because of that reason. I don't know if it bothers you, but it's something I do think about. With a road trip, it's safer in terms of health risks and less exposure to crowds. You're not going to get sick from being around a bunch of people that are sick. Chances are. The cons with a road trip is there's road hazards, bad drivers, and unexpected breakdowns, which can cause some safety and security concerns for sure. Tech and Wi-Fi. So how do you do on a cruise? Some cruises offer internet, and the con would be sometimes it's really expensive. So you have to be very, very careful. And if it's not expensive, it could be extremely slow. So you want to make sure you do your research there. On a road trip, using phone GPS, stream music, and stay connected easily. So usually your Wi-Fi is really good and you're able to stay connected that way. But the con would be that sometimes there's limited signals in remote areas. So you want to make sure that you know when that happens and you have a map, like a paper map available that you can look at if you need to. The last thing, what is the best option for you? Cruises for relaxation, all-inclusive ease, seeing many places without effort. Not ideal for those who want flexibility or deep cultural experiences. Road trips best for adventure seekers, free spirits, nature lovers, and deep explorers. Not great for those who dislike planning or driving long distances. I'd love to hear what your plans are. Thank you for stopping by. Again, be brave, be strong, and love endlessly. Bye for now.